TJ,
all-star.
we love watching you play, dude. I don't think I've ever talked to you, man. Big fan of your game. I don't think anybody works their hands better than TJ Watt in the game. I don't think there's anybody I want with a rush with the game on the line more than TJ Watt. And my first question to you, TJ, would be, with as many close games as you play in, like let's take 3 seconds to go in that game yesterday or the Tennessee game where it comes down to the goal line. I know as a rusher, that's your dream. Maybe you don't want to be stressed out late in the fourth, all these games, but as a rusher, take me through what's going on in your head with 3 seconds to go in that game yesterday or with the game on the line against Tennessee.
Yeah, those are the moments that everything in the offseason is for. I mean, those are the moments when you're sitting there and you're out of breath completely and you're looking at the old tackle and you see he's out of breath and you just know that you have just a little bit more in the tank than him because of all the work that you put in throughout all the offseason training, every single rep of practice, every late night of watching film is all for that moment. And that's why it sucks when you can't come away with that big play. But I'm glad that our guys in the back end and, the guys in the middle have been able to come up with huge plays. But yeah, 2-minute drills in the NFL, when you know the snap count, you know they're passing, especially late in the game when you know you're probably not going to get a chip, are very hard to come by. And you have to make the most of them. And that's why it's just time to pin your ears back and throw your best stuff.
And that was going to be my other question was, you know, as a rusher, are you a feel guy, or do do you come into a game with a game plan, or do you have that game plan and then you're able to move in and out of it? Because I always noticed you might watch a guy on tape and say, oh, his anchor's a problem for him, but then you're like, oh, well, it was because it was Julius Peppers. Of course.
Exactly.
And as the game goes on, do you find yourself making adjustments, and then at the end of the game, do you save a home run?
Yeah, and that's why the iPads are so crucial. I mean, it was really nice in the preseason because in the preseason they actually tried out where you could watch like actual video clip for the first time. So that was pretty cool where you could see where the hands were going, so you could make true in-game adjustments. But yeah, you always go into a game with a game plan. But like you said, you kind of have to find, at least I found, you have to find rushers that are very similar to you because you can't watch, like I can't watch my brother play against a tackle think that tackle's going to play me exactly how he played him. So that's part of it. And then in the game, they're always scheming different things, whether they try to hold the outside hand because they know you're a chop guy, or they try to flash it for a second, or if they're going to just try to throw it right at your chest. So you really have to get back to the sidelines, look at the iPads, and see if he's really opening the gate up when we can run a game, or if you just want to work hands. But yeah, it's like chess. It really is. But that iPad is crucial.
TJ, Kyle here, and you say it's like chess, and to me it looks like you're playing chess and most people are playing checkers, but make no mistake about it, in the offensive line room throughout the week, we're trying to scheme how to get you blocked with extra guys, chips, inside, outside. Are there ever times where you feel like a chip may help your rush?
I hope more. I wish it would help me more than it actually does, but I mean, the only ones that really can help is if like a tight end, they're starting to like kind of mess with their alignments, right? So a lot of times you'll see guys now, they'll start outside the hashes, these tight ends, they'll motion them in because when they're off the line, they can kind of motion and dictate where they want to go. Whereas if they line up on the line of scrimmage, they can't motion and go. So I can kind of come outside, come inside a little bit, try to shoot the gap, or we can run like a quick TE game or a quick exit game. But the hard ones are when those guys are outside at like that 3.5, that weird space where if I get outside, I'm way too far away. But if I get inside, I'm kind of pinning myself where he can just, that's where you see all those like decleaters. But the only good part about that is sometimes if I'm able to stand up, that tackle doesn't really understand and he oversets it. And then I get chipped into like pretty much an exit game, which has happened a couple times in my career. But chips are tough, man. They really are. And I think that's why you're seeing more of them. As my career continues, which we just have to figure out a better way to attack them.
Yeah, but you're right. Like that tight end reduced late where you got your hand in the ground and you're like, oh, shit, I got to get up and walk outside of him. The back coming up, you can spin against that, and I've seen you do that and that sort of thing. But they throw a lot at you. Benton, man, he's been fun to watch. And, I can tell you like playing with him. Yesterday I saw you guys celebrating together. What's it like seeing these young guys making plays?
It's huge. I mean, when you can get the interior, I mean, as edge rusher, when you can get that interior push, it makes life so much easier for us. And to be able to really burn the corner, knowing that the quarterback's not going to be able to step up, makes life a lot easier for us. And having a guy that's 300, 310 plus pounds and be able to move like he does, he's one of the only guys that I know that can actually do like the capture the shoulder, like a drill tape,
Yeah.
like hit the two shuffles and then over, like the swim over. Like I never see that work until he came here, and it's like his bread and butter. But he's been playing some really good football for us, and I mean it's not just in the pass game. I mean he's playing the run really well, and I don't want to talk him up too much, get his head too big,
Yeah,
but he
get
is
his
playing
head
some really good
big.
football. And it's that Badger. I mean that 3-4 defense. That's why you see the correlation with Jim Leonard's defense. It's very similar to what we do here. It's pretty much just translating the language once you get here, but all the movements he's very familiar with, as you can tell.
Are you encouraged by the depth at back, or just you feel like guys can step up because Quan's a big loss? I know that hurts, but you guys got to keep it moving. How do you feel about the depth at backer, and what do you have to do to get those guys ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, Elandon Roberts is an incredible player. I think he's done it for a long time. I mean, just a guy that's a steady voice. He's a guy that feels like he's a starter from day one. So even when he came in yesterday, it's not like you had to minimize the play sheet for him. He's been in the league for a long time. He knows exactly what he needs to do out there. He's a thumper. Takes a lot of pride in his work.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a thumper, man. And
dude.
it's like, dude, just keep your head out of things and we'll be all right.
Yeah, he's like
But yeah,
friendly
him,
fire. He could.
yes.
You got to watch him around
Yes, I
us.
mean, you should see some of the practices. It's like, man, it's a Wednesday here in season, or even like a Thursday, and it's like we don't have any pads on. Let's just calm down. But it's setting the tone. It really is, and it's that old school football. It's setting the tone. I mean, AFC North, a game like this week too. It's you need a guy like that, and Quan was a guy that was very energetic, very vocal, and Rob is more of a quiet guy, but he's able to deliver messages with how he plays the game.
You got to
And
ask
Mark
Elaine.
Rob,
Sorry. Go ahead, buddy. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
a little delay. Go ahead. Finish your
Yeah,
answer.
Mark Robb playing alongside him is a thumper as well. So I think the two of them in there is going to be a little Bash Brother tandem.
You got to ask Landon Roberts about when he gave me a concussion in practice and walk through. I mean,
The walkthrough.
yeah, dude, walk through. It was like one of those tackling drills where we're just fitting up, and he caught me right on the button, and I went over to Matt Patricia. I was like, I don't think I'm good, bro. Landon Roberts is as hard a hitter as there is in the game, dude. You talked about the AFC North, the physicality of that division. It's always been physical. Do you think this is the most physical and best that it's been in your time as a Steeler?
I mean, just off the records, I think so. I mean, it's just so competitive, and we have the quarterbacks. I mean, just go down the list of quarterbacks that we have to face each and every week. The teams that are running the ball at a high level, and then obviously, it seems like that all the defenses are playing extremely well too. So they're always smash mouth, blood bath type of games. Coach T always talks. We know everything about them. They know everything about us. So it's just all about executing, taking care of the football, and creating that splash. And this week will be no different. I think there's a great slate of games. The Thursday night game is obviously a huge divisional game, and then ours on Sunday will be no different.
With Broderick Jones, seems like a revelation. This guy, your run game has kind of taken off. I know it's probably not all just him, but how fun is it to see him out there, but also that Steelers offense look like a physical, throwback kind of Steelers O?
Yeah, he's been a boost, and I mean something about those Georgia guys that just come in with crazy confidence. Crazy confidence. I mean, it must be just that SEC type confidence. They feel like they've seen it all, and it's contagious. When you have a guy that comes in and believes in himself, goes to work every day, is just trying to develop and has that smash mouth mentality. He's very gritty at how he finishes plays. As you see yesterday with some of the polls and things like that, and it's contagious. And it's been able to rub off on the offense to be able to have 200 rush yards, whatever they had yesterday. We just want to continue to build off of that, and it's fun for me to go up against Broderick in practice because it's a young guy that's always trying to continue to ask me things, and it's fun for me to go up against a guy that's always trying something new. He's not just trying to beat me, holding his hands every play or doing something different. He's actually trying things so we can work together, and I think it's making both of us better.
TJ, I get the opportunity on some weekends to work with your brother JJ, who's a great guy. I hated him when I was in the league, and now I love working with him.
He's the
He is
best.
honestly a pleasure to work with, and
Yeah.
getting to work with my brother. I get to see JJ be the biggest fan of you every week. Are we going to see some of that while you're still playing? Are you going to get involved with the media? Do you have a plan to do that side of things? I know you're on your way to Canton in your career right now, but I mean, look, you're going to be bored after football, and JJ's having fun with it.
He's a natural, man. He really is, and he's good at everything he does. I've always said he's just public speaking in front of a camera. He's really well. He plays well off of people. Just very smart guy. Always loved that about him, but it's not for me. It really isn't. I'm not a. I mean, I don't love doing a whole bunch of interviews and things. I mean, our PR guy's laughing here because I'm always like, just let me focus 1 week. Just leave me alone for 1 week.
Yeah.
But I think when I'm done, I've always said I'd love for Derek, my middle brother, to be like a head football coach, and me, I just be like a D-line coach for like high school or something. I think
You need an O-line coach.
that'd be like my lane, because like I could like show up to practice. If I'm there, it's cool. If I'm not there, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be the head guy.
How cool is it though? Because I remember when I retired, getting to see Kyle's games, and like give him a hug after the game. Like we played against each other a couple times. Big boy got in a couple fights in those games, so he wasn't in the mood for a hug after the game. But like just for you and JJ to be able to see each other in the tunnel, and for you to know that he watched every snap, like that's got to be cool.
Yeah, it's special. Like, just when you think back about how many Houston games I went to and all the tailgates and watching football that he played down there, and it's like every snap, like you guys know how it is. Like, I'm not watching the game, I'm watching him. Like, I can't watch anything else. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So, and like for him to in turn have that for me was like very surreal. For him to come to Pittsburgh to see all the 90 jerseys, to live out the experience just that I had in Houston all those years is kind of wild. And then, I mean, you guys know too, it's like you're so in tune with how you think, and you think the same way. So after a game, it's so refreshing to have a guy that like I'll be like, dude, on that one rush, he's like, oh, I know, I don't want to say it, I don't want to say it, but like now that you say it, like we'll talk about it. And it's like, it is cool. We sat up for, I mean, it was a night game on Thursday when he was out here. We stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning, just talking about football, and it's just like, that's something I'll remember forever. And it's just, it's a special bond, and it's only someone that you grew up with that has walked in the same path that you have that will understand. And that's why it's so special.
And most sacks in 100 career games, it's Reggie White, TJ Watt, JJ Watt.
Unreal.
What does that mean to you?
Good parenting.
It's, I don't know, man. I none of it registers. Honestly, I don't have, like, I can't even fathom all the stuff that's been accomplished. And I'm sure one day we'll sit down and watch a whole bunch of highlights and talk about everything. But I just, like, I don't know. It can't get through my mind what's happening. I just know that I'm just like addicted to the process of continually trying to get better. And I'm just so hungry that, I mean, just a massive game this week.
Yeah.
And there's no time to sit back and pat myself on the back and get a big head. And I just know how special that this moment is. I know how short of a period that I have to play this game, and I'm trying to maximize the most of it. And I just want to keep going.
Legend.
One more question for you. With it being such a physical game in the AFC North, and for you, I mean, I see you flying around. You're every down guy. I mean, so I know it hurts on Monday, and especially when you got another physical game coming up. What's your process as you've gotten older in the league to get your body right? I don't think people realize how full-time a job that is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's staying active. I used to, after games on Mondays, I'd be too sore to do anything, and then Tuesday would be even worse, and then Wednesday I would be kind of crawling into the week. And now it's kind of like today I got in, I made sure I got in the tubs and I lifted, and I'm moving, and I'm just keeping my body active and keeping my blood circulating. It's been helping me a lot more, and obviously a lot more knee, ankle, hip mobility type stuff, all the boring stuff that nobody wants to see, but it's the stuff that's keeping me healthy and able to, on Wednesdays, I'm actually productive instead of kind of crawling into the week and being super sore. And I can work on my hands and things like that. So then when Friday comes around, I'm actually running on full cylinders, and I don't get to the game and I'm hitting full speed reps for the first time. And I think that's something I've gotten a lot better at as my career's progressed.
Well, hopefully we see another 10, 12 years of that, because we love watching you play. And good luck this week and beyond, bro. You are a terror out there, dude. We love to watch it. So
keep getting after it, man.
Keep going,
Thanks for
dude.
coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah.